welcome back to Halftime Acsom show with myself, Sean. Hopefully, we'll be joined by Liam Carrigan shortly. He's just watching the end of the first half with his father, so hopefully he'll jump back on with us in a minute. So I guess I'll just do some back and forth between the comments until he gets in. A bit of a frustrating first half for Celtic there. 0-0 at halftime. We've had 3 shots on target. As it comes around, 2 from Ida, a kind of tame header towards the goalkeeper. And then he has another one, which was also not quite hit, didn't quite connect with, that the keeper collects pretty easily. And then just before halftime, we almost break the deadlock when Nygren gets one that the goalkeeper tips onto the bar. So we almost break the deadlock. Overall, it's been it's not been cumbersome. We've had a lot of the ball. We've not quite got that intensity and that we would hope to have in order to break down a team like St Mirren. St Mirren are sitting very deep, very organised. There was one moment about 29 minutes in where McGregor's kind of strolling around 10 yards inside the St Mirren half with no one putting any pressure on McGregor, and he gives it off to Hatate, who's immediately under pressure from 3 men because St Mirren are sitting waiting for that. And that's to me is kind of summed it up so far. Welcome, Liam. I was just saying how St Mirren are really sitting in and Celtic are really playing into their hands by being kind of pondersome a lot of the time on the ball. They're letting us have it out wide like we predicted in the pre-match. Kieran Tierney's pretty much got leather poisoning from touches he's got. And Alistair Johnson's probably been the most effective player on the pitch, given that the 2 fullbacks are seeing it more than anyone. It comes down to 2 pretty timid efforts on target from Ida and one from Nygren that the keeper does well with, and that's pretty much it.
One thing that struck me, which I'm seeing, Henrik McLaughlin in the comments has just brought it up. Why was there only 1 minute of injury time? Was there a keeper not for 3 or 4 minutes?
I timed it at 2 minutes, but still, yeah, he was down for that.
Anyway, right, positives to take from that half. I think that compared to games towards the end of last season, I think there was a lot more forward momentum from the team. They were trying to put the ball into forward positions a lot more. There was less of the passing sideways and back. It's still there, don't get me wrong, but it's not. I don't think it's as bad as it was last season. I think that St Mirren are, like you say, sitting very, very deep, but in that last third, they are really having to work to keep on top of the ball. And I don't think they can keep that up for 90 minutes. If we keep this pressure, if we keep calm, they'll crack. And we will get the goal.
Yeah, it seems like the problem is that we're trying at times. We're trying to do the things that we know we need to do. Like when Johnston plays that quick 1-2 with Ida, and it absolutely breaks the St Mirren line, and Johnston ends up in behind. But then Maeda's can't get in front of his defender to get on the end of it. So we know that we need to play those quick passes to break the lines. The other thing is we played a couple of quick free kicks in behind. And and that worked one time, and Maeda gets in behind the goalkeeper, and then he tries to square it to Yang instead of shooting. And there's been at least 2, maybe 3 occasions where there's a back post ball went into Yang's area, and he's just nowhere near it. Like he's just kind of standing off watching it. And look, Ida, I think, has been okay. Maeda's probably been the bigger threat on the wing, but I don't think Yang's really offering any kind of threat. I think he's just an extra body out there carrying it in and recycling possession. I don't know what he's actually offering here.
With Ida, I would persevere for another 10-15 minutes anyway, because I think he's showing enough, getting into the right positions, trying to make things happen. It hasn't come off for him yet, but he has looked better than he had in pre-season up to this point. He does look like he's playing with a guy that's got a point to prove. You know, as to whether he's proven that point or not, that's up for debate. But Yang, I want to make a case for the defence, but I can't. The guy's been anonymous. There's no nice way to say it. He's not cut it today at all.
I felt similar. Negrin started the game quite heavily involved, and then he kind of went out it as well. He seemed he was coming all over the place to retrieve possession, and then he seemed to settle into a kind of more inside position, and things just started kind of working around him at that point. And it kind of meant Hatate was coming more central and Kalmak was coming more central, and it was just getting really congested. So I don't know if there's a kind of onus on the midfielders to actually try and get out wide, and it seems like we maybe, because St Mirren are giving us that wide space, maybe we need to get more support out there and try and get to the byline, try and get around that corner of the, I was going to say the fullback. It's a back five, so it is a fullback technically, rather than a wing back. But yeah, I don't know. What changes would be the first you'd make if you're going to make any?
I would introduce Forrest for Yang. If James Forrest is up to playing a full half, which hopefully he is, then get him on right now, because I don't like to get down on individual players, but Yang's like an empty jersey right now. It's not happening. It's not happening for him. And like I say, I would give Ida up until the 60 minutes, and if he's still not getting, if there's still not an end product there, then you bring Yamada in. And yeah, I think our build-up play from midfield is fine. Kieran Tierney and Dice Maeda, that's another positive. Once those two get on the same wavelength, we're going to be frightening down that left wing, because they've both seen a lot of action in the first half, and they're both making things happen. So that's the positive we can take from this. Kieran Tierney and Dyson are both they're showing the early signs of a very, very productive partnership down that left flank.
Yeah, the thing that I liked that Tierney was doing was he was beating the man as well. And it wasn't just like ripping the guy for pace, like he was just turning, and just turning the guy and like just finding himself, with just a bit of composure and time. Just the problem has been his final ball has been a little bit off, but I don't know if you could also say that's a bit down to the players that he's firing it towards as well. I think Chris Sutton was particularly scathing at one point, where a ball came into the box and there was 4 Celtic players and just standing watching while the St Mirren players just mopped it up. So I don't think that he was overly impressed. In terms of what St Mirren have offered, there was a dangerous ball across the box. There was a O'Hara shot that Kasper Schmeichel punched out. Half chance for Declan John that he pulled wide. But I don't think they've been too much of a threat, to be honest. I think, we've probably because we've just held the ball so much. But when they have kind of gone more direct, I think Scales has done pretty well. And Carter Vickers, when he's been called upon as well, has done relatively well. Tierney, Johnson
have been solid. Defense have been relatively solid.
Yeah.
Outstanding, but no glaring errors either, and that's all you can really ask for from a defense.
There was a moment in the first minute where there was a bit of miscommunication between Schmeichel and Carter Vickers. Oh God, here we go. But apart from that, it's been pretty solid at the back. But yeah, the problem is, we're not doing the things well that we need to do to break St Mirren down, even though they do look like they know what they need to be doing. The thing that frustrated me relatively early was Ida was putting pressure on, but the 3 behind them were not triggering at the same time. So there's a bit of a disconnect between the players in terms of the forward press as well. So apart from the football that we're playing, there's not been a good team press that I've seen yet. So I wonder if that's something we need to work on as well. Is that something we can just change now, or is it just a mentality thing? Is it a personnel thing? What do you think?
Well, see, that's the other positive to take from this. If we win today, and I still believe we can, if we win today, it's probably only going to be by 1 or 2 goals, because it's not going to be the 5-0 riot that we were hoping for, right? But it's enough that Brendan Rodgers can clearly go to the board and say, well, look, this is what we're going to have to cope with all season unless I can get the players in that I want to improve this team. Mm-hmm. And so that, I would take a 1-0 right now. I think that would be great. We win, we get the 3 points, we're 2 points clear of the Mankey mob, but we still have the clear case for the manager to say, right, get the finger out and get this team, get me the players I want.
Yeah, and look, it could be that a goal changes the complexion of the game, but we've learned, unfortunately, in recent years that teams treat a 1 goal deficit to Celtic like it's 0-0 these days. Like, it used to be that if they were a goal down, they'd open up, but now it's 2 goals to open a team up. They actually now, I think Derek McInnes started this tactic where even if you're a goal down, you still park the bus until the 75th minute, and then you try and snatch a draw rather than try and snatch a win. So I think even if we do score one here, I don't think it's going to actually open the game up until the later stages. So St Mirren could come into it. I think there were some comments kind of along those lines. If St Mirren get one, then it's going to be risky. Joseph Byrne's still confident, still going to win 2-0. We've got an alleged neutral in the comments. Biblical baboon. Neutral here. That goal is coming. That St Mirren goal has lived a charmed life, in my opinion. Yeah, man.
Hope so. Certainly hope so. And the evidence would point to it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Stevie boy, we needed a Rogic in mid or on form Kyogo up front. So I did belatedly catch Brendan Rodgers' pre-match comments, and he was saying the reason that Nygren was in ahead of Engels was he wanted someone who could turn in the tight spaces. Whether he's referring to, and he specifically referenced Engels doing better in the open space in Europe and struggling, or not, didn't say struggling, but he said he preferred, today chose Nygren to play in those tight turn spaces against St Mirren. So has Nygren stood up to that for you? Do you think, when do you think, does Engels come on, and do you think Engels will do well when he comes on?
Nygren has been fine. I think he's been all right for a guy making his league debut. That chance right at the end of the first half, I mean, it's a brilliant save from the goalkeeper. I'd see enough of Nygren to think that he's the sort that could still make something happen, whereas if Engels comes on, he's a good player, but I don't see him being the guy who's going to create that bit of magic that will win the game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what else have we got on the bench? Let's have a look at that again. We've got Johnny Kenny. I don't know that. Could you see Shin coming on? Everyone in the comments saying Forrest on the wing.
If we get to the hour and we're still not winning, I could definitely see Shin coming in. This is the sort of game that's tailor-made for a new signing striker. Come in, get the goal, get the fans on side right away. It's tailor-made for that. Johnny Kenny looked good in pre-season as well, but Shin Yamada's the one that excites me more. I'm biased because I want to see the Japanese players do well, obviously, but no, I think if we get to the hour, we haven't scored yet, Ida off, Yamada on, and let's hope for a bit of debut magic. Home debut magic, I should say.
Yeah, I think I'm repeating myself, but yeah, it seems like they know what they need to do. They're just not doing it well. They're just not doing it consistently. They're just not doing it across the board. So yeah, hopefully they do step it up and a bit more intensity, effort in this second half. Any other shouts before we go back, Liam? What do you reckon? Who's been your best on ground so far?
I think our man of the match so far is actually Kieran Tierney. Although we joked about it before the game, I actually think he's been the best player on the park so far, genuinely. Yeah. So more of that to come, hopefully, in the second half. More action down the. Smell the glove saying it'd get me on the pitch. Aye, good luck, mate. I can barely see Celtic Park, let alone walk on it.
Yes. I see Jack Ross is in the studio. That's an interesting one as well. I think he's working at Newcastle at the moment. Barry O'Sullivan go to the 3-5-2. Maybe might end up going that way.
That would negate the lack of wingers.
The amount of work that Tierney's doing as well, he's going to be exhausted. And we don't have any left backs on the bench. Inamura conspicuously missing, so could end up. I
really hope that doesn't mean he's going out on loan. Because I think that would be such a waste. He's already shown he's good enough to be a Celtic squad player, in my opinion.
So it could end up be Tierney and Johnson come off, since they're both not fully match fit. It could be coming off getting Ralston on, going back 3. We'll see. But anyway, what we want is intensity. We want a bit of effort. We want some clinical and nature. Yeah, some desire. Like, show some desire going to the end of these things, guys, and hopefully we'll be coming back with a positive result at full time. 3 points to cheers up on Flag Day with the maestro flying in from Australia to oversee it, and those displays for John Cork and John Fallon, very impressive.
Yes, those were beautiful. Yeah.
So let's get a win for that, and hopefully we'll have a positive outcome in 45 minutes plus the 1 minute of injury time that Don Robertson's going to give us.
Keep the faith, guys. We're still there. It's only 45 minutes played. Still more football to be played and more goals to be scored, hopefully.
All right, I'll see you at halftime then, Liam. All the best. Hail, hail.
Cheers.